Coachella Park. I don't know if you remember back in, I think it was January, we had our parks manager, Jason, who came and gave an update on what the things they were working on with ADA improvements in county parks. But Cuscowilla is a little bit different, special, brand new, lots of exciting things coming. And so we have with us today Gina Peebles, who is who is assistant county manager for community services and community and administrative services. And part of that includes the oversight and supervision of Cuscowilla Park. So Gina, tell us all about what we can look forward to.
Well, thank you so very much for having me. And there actually has been a lot of progress at Cuscowilla. Board purchased it in 2017. In 2019, they decided to keep it. I apologize, 2020, they decided to keep it as a county-owned managed park. And they authorized investing $2.7 million to renovate it. And that's for us to have summer camp starting this summer. So our facilities management department has been overseeing all of the improvements. Some of the things that are currently underway are pool renovation and improvements, the cabin. Sorry, one moment. Sorry. Oh, they're going to do it again. Sorry. Okay, I think we might be good.
Excitement.
Okay, I think we're really good now. So we've done a lot of improvements for the cabins. They have new roofs, new HVAC, new flooring, new windows, and everything is very energy efficient. So we've installed LED lights. We've got some new improvements going on in the mess hall. So if and when we're finally open to the public, I'd love to invite you to come out and check out all of our progress. But some of the things in particular that this group would be interested in is that we recently applied for a Children's Trust grant. And some of the things that we had specifically applied for was some adaptive equipment. And so, for example, we were also awarded about $100,000 through the Children's Trust. So we have some adaptive pool equipment coming, sitting volleyball kit, a basketball kit, adaptive fishing gear, and some other miscellaneous things like some tabletop games and such. Additionally, if a child does need one-on-one assistance, the grant does allow us to even hire a staff member that would be exclusively assigned to that child, just so that we can make sure that they're able to participate in all of the fun and activities that are going on at the camp. So anyway, that's my update in a nutshell. And with that, I'm happy to answer questions.
Gina, for the pool, do we have plans for a pool lift?
Yes, so there was one that was there. However, it was pretty decrepit looking, so we will have a new one installed. There was a diving board that's coming out. And if you didn't know, it is a 12-foot deep pool, so it is a pretty deep pool.
Does it have a walk-in part, or is it just steps? What did you say? You said?
I said no, it is not walk-in.
Okay. And what about the plans for summer programming? Are we working with the schools on recruiting for summer camp?
So we just hired our manager, and her first day was last Monday. So she's very, very new, but she has already started to reach out to various community groups. It's certainly our intent to work with the school board. And one of the things that we also want to do is work with them on busing the children. So Next year, our goal is to have overnight camp, but because this year we got a little late start, even hiring our manager, as I mentioned, she just started last Monday. So we're just going to do day camp this summer. And with that, we're hoping that we can even partner with the school board so that they could provide buses and drivers for some strategically located areas so that transportation is not a barrier for any of our campers to come to camp.
Okay. And this is going to be a week-long day camp this summer?
That's correct. Yes. And so it starts the Monday after the kids get out of school, which off the top of my head is June 21st. And then it goes through the first week of August, whenever, just right before they go back to school.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
So Gina, how many kids are going to be there at one time? You said it starts in June and then ends in August?
That's correct. So we're planning on having 50 children this year, just
Okay.
because we still don't even know about any COVID restrictions. And so we would just like to err on the side of smaller groups, but we can actually accommodate 100 overnight children.
Mm. Okay. And so it will be 50 over the entire period, or those same 50
Per week.
kids can attend each week?
So it could be different children every single week. It just depends on how many weeks their parents register them. So it could be the same kids, or it could be completely different kids, or a little combination of the two. So my assumption is we're going to have a little combination of the two. You know, maybe some summer vacation, so they come this week, but they don't come next week, just for personal reasons, or, you know, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Okay.
And you said there will be a staff member that'll be able to assist individuals that have disabilities and things of that nature?
If we know in advance. So that's one of the things, that if we do have a child and that their parents need to communicate with us that their child does have some type of special need, but the Children's Trust Grant does provide funding for that. So we would just need to know far enough in advance so that we can find the right person to accompany that child to camp.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know.
And not to put you on the spot, but I just had a question about Post Springs and the Boardwalk.
Mhm.
Do you have any information on where they are in the repair work?
Sure. So currently the plan is that everything is open and ready to go for Memorial Day weekend. We are asking the board on Tuesday, so this coming Tuesday at that meeting, if we could go ahead and resume 7-day per week operations, again, effective Memorial Day weekend. So you may remember that last year, in addition to the boardwalk being closed, but because of COVID, we asked if we could just reduce our hours. So we were only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and at 50% capacity. So that allowed the staff to have more time to thoroughly clean restrooms and all those high touch surfaces. You know, we've all been hearing about it for a year now. So we're hoping that we can still enforce social distancing, but resume 7-day per week full capacity operations.
And where are we with signage? Part of the discussions we've been having with Jason, coming from the recommendations of that person who had gone out to the boardwalk, you know, and had challenges making it from the parking lot all the way around to that end. You might remember he was recommending some signage, things that would at least say, from here it's another quarter mile, half mile, so that you know whether or not you're able to make that, you know, trek all the way around, or to request to access the water from, I guess, the back gate. I mean, I haven't been out there in a while, but I know there was some conversation about allowing folks upon request to access the water from a back gate, which is a shorter trek than going along the boardwalk.
So my assumption is that Jason has that completely under control, but I will make sure to follow up with them.
And will we be able to I guess we could go independently because, yeah, we're not kind of going out together in groups, just to go out and see when Post Springs is opened up back for the public to just come out and do a walkthrough.
So we would absolutely welcome you to come. If we don't know that you're doing an official walkthrough as part of your county business, it is $5 per vehicle. So just heads up on that.
Man, you don't get you don't get a special waiver. Well, I guess if we were coming out as a group, but I would be concerned with us coming out as a group right now. And so we could probably save that for later. So any questions for Gina on Cuskawilla, or if you had questions on any other parks that she can take back to the parks manager?
Gina,
No.
on the Tuscaloosa, you mentioned accessible transportation. Are those school buses or?
So again, if a child does have a special accommodation request, we would hope that they would give us just as much advance notice as possible. I believe the school board does have accessible buses, but at this point, we're planning on regular buses. So it would be very important for the parents to communicate with us and let us know that they have a need. Otherwise, we would roll up with a regular bus and not be prepared for that child. So hopefully the parents are used to telling, folks about what their accommodation needs are, and that this would be no exception, but it really boils down to you need to communicate with us.
Right,
Is there a
but
form to register?
exactly.
So we're hoping to roll out the registration the first week of May. And in that, there's a number of things. So for example, children even have food allergies, or they can be allergic to ant bites or bee sting. So it's got to go into a lot of things,
Right.
like does your child have allergies? And
Mm-hmm.
And will your child need special assistance or so on the form? Okay. Sure, we will get that.
correct.
Okay, well,
That's it.
thanks for the update, Gina.
All right, thanks,
All right, and
Gina.
as soon as it's done, please come out and visit us. We'd love to have you.
All
Okay.
right, thank
Gina.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, take care. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Hi.
So the next item on the agenda is just an update on some recent changes with the vaccine registration requirements that improved access. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with within the last, I would say, week or two, it might be 2 weeks now, that the health department has opened up some walk-in clinics where no registration is required. You just go in. I think they have some set hours, like between 9 and 2, or it might even be all day now. I haven't really checked this week, but this was a big relief because we were getting calls and some concerns from individuals with disabilities in the community, and particularly those who are blind, with difficulty in registering for the vaccine, going on the websites, not being able to navigate the registration forms, and some other concerns. And we were trying to find ways to assist with that, and getting the vaccine clinics opened up now to no registration, no appointments made a big difference in addressing, that barrier to those who are having challenges registering for an appointment. And in addition to that, the county manager approved the county paying for MV rides to vaccine appointments. And so for those who are, and I guess Linda can correct me if I'm not using the right terms, but the ADA riders who are certified through CIL, Center for Independent Living, that are MV riders, if they call to schedule appointments and a ride for a vaccine appointment, they get to ride for free because the county is covering that cost. So that has, really opened up quite a bit in terms of addressing accessibility concerns for vaccine appointments. Now, what I don't know, and I don't know, Linda, if you have any numbers yet on the calls and the ones who are being covered under these free rides from the county.
No, we don't. I think that MV is going to be logging them, and we would have to be in contact with them to get the numbers from them. But right now, we don't know.
Because I spoke with Marcia earlier this week, and she was mentioning, a couple last week, and the word was just getting out, because I think you sent it out to your membership list, I think is how you got the word out.
I believe so.
There it is,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Okay. And I know MV also, when folks are calling for the appointments, will just tell them the fees are waived for you. So hopefully in another week or two, those who can take advantage of this will be aware of it and getting their rights to the appointments. Okay, so I'm just curious for our members, if you had anything from a personal experience standpoint or anything you were hearing from friends or other family members about challenges with vaccine appointments, anything that we can maybe take back to the health department, anything to be addressed?
No, I mean,
Nope, I guess Christopher, I can't see you, so I don't know if you're saying yes or no.
Sorry, just having some technical difficulties on my part.
Sorry. Anything to share, any concerns? Specifically
seems good.
regarding vaccines, okay. All right, so
Access is important.
so then it takes us to the last item today, and really this is about starting to think about, brainstorm, plan for Disability Awareness Month. Every July we do something to recognize and celebrate the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act. We usually try to plan an event around July 26th on or close to that time. So this is April, wanted to just start, talking about this, having us get our thoughts together, propose some ideas, maybe, when we meet again, and just throw that out there to start the conversation. So if I can go to you, Linda, I don't know if CIL already is starting to think about things that, you guys might be doing that we can partner with you on, or, as we do every year,
Right. Yeah.
work on partnering with each other's events.
Actually, I don't think we have, because we've been so up in the air as to whether we will be opened up, or, are we going to be able to have a big public event, or CIL right now is still closed down. Most people work remotely. I've been here the whole time, but so I think if we're going to do anything, we might try something through Zoom, getting a guest speaker or something. But hopefully, if things change, and it looks like it might be changing, that we can do something more publicly with some basic measures of safety in place.
What I had envisioned too was probably some kind of virtual workshop, a speaker talking about the ADA, some, disability access issues. I had the fortune of hearing recently one or two speakers through a diversity, equity, and inclusion training course that I'm in. And I mean, just really, really excellent speakers. And I thought of them as potential speakers if we plan some type of virtual event. And the city, they weren't able to join this call today, but, you know, I've reached out to them to start thinking too about, you know, what we might be able to do in July. And in addition to that, we could probably build on some things we did last year, which was a little bit more of a passive approach, just pushing some information out using social media and on the government channel, Channel 12. I think we ran some educational information on Channel 12 and on our website. And we could, you know, maybe build on that, something like that, as well as virtual training. And I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts or ideas to share.
I went to the ADA website. This is the 31st anniversary this year of ADA, and what they were asking is that social media be utilized. This year, they're asking for people to post their personal stories on social media and then share the hashtag ADA31 or hashtag thanks to the ADA, and just post, you know, personal stories or stories about family members of how your life has been changed or how you've been affected by ADA. And some of the other ideas when we were talking about the virtual campaigns, just putting disability awareness out there. Though that was one of the ideas that they gave, events that you could plan. There were quite a few that they had listed, but the only other two that we could probably do that wouldn't be affected by COVID is to sponsor a disability awareness poster contest, was one of them that was out there. And then also exhibiting work by artists with disabilities. Those, I mean, we could do that and not have that be affected by, you know, what's going on with COVID. But, you know, they had other ideas out there like hosting a wheelchair race and things like that, but we really can't do anything like that with COVID being out. But I think the poster.
I think the social media would be probably the most effective thing.
And the artwork is having the public, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think that the social media would probably be rather effective as it would have a wide reach. Come up with a simple, easy hashtag and or tag or whatever.
Well, they're asking us, if you're going to do that, they're asking that everyone use the hashtag ADA31 or hashtag thanks to the ADA.
Would it be negotiable to use it? I think just the thanks ADA would be the shorter and easier, the better.
Okay. So
you mean, I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said. You think thanks to the AD is better than what, using ADA 31? I wasn't sure.
I think using just thanks ADA, minimize the number of extra words, tends to make it
okay. I mean,
more
but
likely.
That wasn't, yeah. But that was created by ADA. Those are the words that they're using, and I'm sure that's the national hashtag that they will have. So if we shorten it, and
Never
it
mind
actually
then.
says hashtag thanks to the ADA, that's one of how they have it. Or ADA 31.
Could we do our own hashtag?
yeah, we could do our own.
Could.
Well, we would probably want to stay in line with the overarching national stuff. So.
Right, but in reference to what we're gonna do for ADA month, it could be an idea to add on to, you know, speakers or personal stories or poster contests, something.
So do we have, you know, I think it would be helpful if we had volunteers who would offer to work on something of interest, to that person.
Okay.
So that we have, each person gets a small, um, I guess, bite of the apple to take on, to do the, research, think about something to bring back to the next meeting, so that it's not just, let's just all, brainstorm. Because if it's not assigned and this is something I'm going to work on, when we come back at the next meeting, it will probably just be, sitting. I don't think a lot of progress will be made. So I don't know if Jay, Christopher, you have particular things of interest to you, something you'd like to see us do that maybe you might be willing to, say you're looking to and bring back. Same with Linda, maybe talking to Tony and your colleagues at CIL to see if there's something, the CIL statewide, something under a slightly larger umbrella they might be working on that we could piggyback on and incorporate. And I will find out the same from the city, is there something that they would like to see us focus on, more related to our community that we can piggyback on. And so at the next meeting, we'll have a little bit more focus where we have, here are some specific things that we would like to promote come July, and let's start working towards that. So we can continue to look at ada.gov, from Department of Justice. I was even thinking about, doing something on service animals, and, focusing on promoting service animals, maybe trying to get a demo like I think CIL had that maybe 2 years ago, it was, Linda, where you had that lady from
Yeah.
Williston, was it Williston?
They were out in Williston, yes.
Yeah, and I think she trains service animals, and she was doing a demo because I attended that event at your place. So that could be something where it's recorded. I'm sure she would be happy to do something like that again to help promote the whole idea, topic of service animals, and she's local to our community. So maybe, we can approach her and say, would you like to do a video, something that we can help to promote, along with some formal training about service animal and the law. That video, would just be a part of it. So I was thinking about something like service animals as just one of the things we could promote. And again, I will reach out to one of the speakers that I heard last week, and she was excellent, to see if it's something she might be willing to do for us, do some training, participate in a webinar. Just a couple of thoughts on my end, but I'm sure there's a whole lot more that I would really like to see each person kind of give some thought to, something that we could work on to help promote using social media, because chances are we're not likely to have a big gathering come July. And so if we just plan from the social media, virtual webinar, some kind of event that we will way of celebrating and recognizing in July, that would be good.
I'll definitely check and see if that's a possibility on our end.
Any other?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. That's frustrating. The best I can do is talk to the wife tonight and see if we can come up with something of brainstorming, because she's better at that than me.
All right, and so we can plan on, I guess, coming back together in May, so that we have, whatever we are in agreement on as what we're going to do, we have at least a little lead time to get things in place for July. So we can plan on getting together. Mary, do you know what's the fourth Thursday in May? I guess I can try to.
I believe it's the 27th.
Oh, that's a Thursday just before Memorial Day weekend.
Mhm.
Will that be an issue, for everybody in terms of, because we probably will have to have a hybrid meeting in order to, make some decisions and take action. So it would mean meeting in person. Would that create a problem for anybody the Thursday before the holiday weekend?
The date would not create any kind of a problem for me. If we're still high in COVID, that might be a little bit of a problem. My wife and I, we don't really socialize at all anymore.
Well, with the hybrid meeting, we would need a quorum in person.
Right.
And then, once we reach quorum, someone else could participate virtually.
Right. Okay.
So we could be mindful of that as well.
If we don't have a quorum, I'm sure I can make exceptions to get there, to the meeting, but my first thought would have to be as joining by Zoom.
Okay. All right, well, I guess we can keep that in mind as a plan, and as things change, be sure to just communicate with Mary and let her know. But
Sure.
For now, we will plan on having a meeting May 27th, I think you said, Mary, that for
Yes.
Thursday.
Mhm.
Well, that's it for me. So if anyone else has anything they want to share, something we haven't covered.
I think they'll give us some time to think about it and come up with some ideas. It's a good plan.
Okay, anybody else?
Maybe do a parks accessibility kind of review like we were shown, Jason.
Meaning for separately from Disability Awareness Month, or you mean as part of
As part of,
promoting that?
as part of, either just a presentation or.
And we could always, maybe if he has, if he's at the point where the renovations that were planned have been completed,
Mhm.
we could promote that on the website, the accessibility improvements. And
Right.
we could work on
Yes.
do that. That would be.
That's all.
Okay. All right, well, if there isn't anything else, I think we can adjourn this meeting and look forward to continuing the discussion next month.
Great, thank you.
Bye.
All right,
All righty, have a good one.
bye.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Move.